what's up? My name is Reginald T. Thornton. But my friends and everybody call me Reggie. Just want to talk a little bit about me and my dance experience and how I fell in love with dance. From what my aunts and my parents told me and my cousins and friends, they said that I started dancing when I was 16 months old, back in Gary, Indiana, which I'm a native of, when I won a cha-cha contest at 16 months old. And I think that's where I kind of found my footing in dancing. But my true love came from when I was in the 6th grade, and my cousin Sharon and her friend Renetta Hartfield called me and asked them to participate in a talent show with them at Pulaski Junior High School in Gary, Indiana. We won that talent show. I remember coming out in my tuxedo and start doing James Brown, and the girls were screaming and everything, and I think that's when my love for dancing actually came into play. I went all through junior high school and high school dancing, went in talent shows throughout Gary, Indiana, and Chicago, what have you, and then I just happened to find out about a local dance show in Chicago called Soul Train. Myself and my flamettes, we were going back and forth to Chicago, dancing on a local show called Soul Train. Don Cornelius thought that it was a pretty good idea for him to take this show on a national basis or whatever, so he called my parents and asked could he use myself and the 2 girls to make a pilot to have Soul Train be a national show. Our parents agreed and we made the pilot for Soul Train. Don Cornelius said, well, if this show becomes a success, I'm gonna sing for you guys, and what happened. But that never happened. I had to graduate from college and find my own way to California and finally started to dance on the national show of Soul Train.
I'm your blues man, that's what I am. I'm here to do whatever I can. Be it early morning, late afternoon, or at midnight. It's never too soon to wanna please you, to wanna keep you, to wanna do it all for you. I wanna be your rubber ball. I wanna be the one you love most of all. Oh yeah. I'm the boogie man, I'm the boogie man. Turn me on. I'm the boogie man, I'm the boogie man. I do what you want. I'm the boogie man, I'm the boogie man. Turn me on. I'm the boogie man, I'm the boogie man. I do what you want. I'm your boogie man. That's what I am. I'm here to do whatever I can. Be it early morning, late afternoon, or at midnight. Oh, it's never too soon to wanna take you, to wanna hold you. I wanna give my all to you, and I want you to completely understand where I'm at and where I am. Oh yeah. I'm the boogie man, I'm the boogie man. Turn me on. I'm the boogie man, I'm the boogie man. I do what you want. I'm the boogie man, I'm the boogie man. Turn me on. I'm the boogie man, I'm the boogie man. I do what you want. I'm your boogie man. That's what I am. I'm here to do whatever I can. Be it early morning.
I danced on that show for 12 years on the national version. A friend of mine used to tell me about this guy named Chester Whitmore, who had a dance company, who was this great tap dancer, hoofer, all-around performer, and he wanted me to meet him. So eventually, I happened to take a trip to Catalina, and I was on a boat, and my friend, introduced me to Chester Whitmore. I met Chester, and Chester gave me an invitation to join his dance company called the Black Ballet Jazz Dance Company. I took Chester up on that offer. I went to one of the rehearsals, and they were dancing, doing all the choreography and all the routines, and I just said, wow, because I was kind of taken aback, because when I had my group Reggie and the Flamettes, I used to choreograph a lot of numbers that we had And the way I choreographed, I said, okay, we're gonna do 3 of these, or we're gonna do 4 of these, or what have you. That was my way of choreographing. But their way of choreographing was choreographing dances with the numbers, like 1, 2, and 3, and 4, or 1, 2, you know, that kind of dancing terminology, counting. And so I was taken aback. I said, what the heck is that? But to make a long story short, that was one of the greatest educations that I could have had in life, because I learned how to count dance, how to understand how different dance patterns and how different rhythms and stuff flow or whatever. So I got to say, being in the Black Ballet Jazz Dance Company was one of the greatest experiences that I could have had in my life. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, after learning the routines from the Black Ballet Jazz Dance Company, we eventually went on a tour. I think that first tour we went on, we went to Italy, we went to Germany, East and West Germany, because that was before the wall came down. It was East Germany. We went to West Germany, we went to Iceland, to Finland, and more places. I know it was about a month and a half long tour. It was one of the greatest experiences that I've ever had. So after being with Black Ballet Jazz Dance Company for a while, after that kind of like died down, dispersed or what have you, all of a sudden I get a call from Ron Parker, extended an invitation to me to join the Central Avenue Dance Ensemble, which was kind of like an offshoot of the Black Ballet Jazz Dance Company, because they were going to work on this show called The History of Black Dance in America. I went to the rehearsals, learned the routines or whatever, and ultimately, after like a year and a half of rehearsals, we finally got a show together. And it was in 2011 that we presented The History of Black Dance in America in Inglewood, California. I've got to say, that was a great show. It came off very well. We had a few technical difficulties, but overall it was very good artistically and financially. It was a great show. So after we performed that show in Inglewood, a year and a half after that, 2012, we performed The History of Black Dance again, which was a much more polished version of The History of Black Dance in America in Santa Monica, which was a huge success. I think they performed that 3 nights, and each night was sold out. It was a very good show, educationally and financially. And vernacular dance is a very important art form that should be around for a long time. But I feel bad that it's not being supported by the grants that's out there and all these other things that support other dance forms. The reason why I'm still involved with it, because I feel that it's a very important art form that should be around for a long time. And the younger generations, they should be aware that it's out there. If we don't do it, nobody else will. And there's nobody else out there doing it. So we have to do this to keep it alive. Because if we don't, eventually it'll fall down by the wayside and won't exist at all, and nobody will be aware of it. So it's important that we support vernacular jazz and be aware that this type of dance do exist.